A little bit of voice volume, yep. Okay. Can you guys hear me in the back? Yeah? Yeah? Get a little yes in the back, thank you. Alright, let's get on our feet. Good morning. Bonjour. Shabbat shalom. All of the above. There's still a little shade left up on the top if anybody wants to come up. No? Okay. I like the people who are close to me. It feels like I feel your energy, you know? Alright, so we're going to come up to the top of the mat, but we're going to open our feet hip distance today. And then I want you to soften your knees and draw the tailbone a little bit down. As the tailbone draws down, pull the belly up and in. Yeah. So I want you to feel like you're sitting in your heels. Does that make sense? The knees are soft. You feel a little weight in the heels. The tailbone drops. And then I want you to take your hands on the front of your hips and literally pull the skin from the top of your thigh all the way up to above your hip bones. Yeah, pull the skin up. You feel that? This is where your psoas lives, right? So I want you to feel that. Nice and long, hold it there, keep pulling it up, and then straighten your legs and draw the tailbone down even more. You feel that area lengthen? Good, inhale, keep that, reach your arms up overhead, hook your thumbs and take a little stretch to the right. See if you can keep that left hip bone a little more forward. Some of you have let the left hip go back. I want you to, yes, feel the difference? That left hip bone is moving forward. That's it. And then inhale, come back to center. Let's switch the hooking on the thumbs. Go the other way, nice and simple. And as you start to bend to your left, keep the right hip a little bit forward. Keep that front of the hip area long. Maybe lean back a little. You'll feel it. Good. And then come to center and release your arms down. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Just fold right in. Let's lift halfway on the inhale and go to plank pose. Yep. Take the upper push-up. Organize yourself for a moment. See if you can keep that front of the hip area long. Tailbone drawing down, hip points a little bit forward. Chest long, gaze forward. And then from there, you can gently put the knees down or not. And then we lower to the belly by bending the elbows, not by landing on the elbows. The hands stay where they are. And we come all the way down, lay it down, and then inhale for cobra. Yep. Let cobra be the sweetest little back bend you ever did. If your elbows are straight, you're going up too high. Come them down. The hip bones, that same area, the psoas stays on the ground. And we lift from there. So maybe the belly button lifts, but most cases the belly button's even on the ground. And we lift the front of the ribs and we lift the chest a little bit, right? Think about your spine, not the outer form, not what it looks like on the outside, not the biggest back bend you ever did. If your feet are floating up in the air behind you, you're squeezing your glutes too much. Press the top of the feet down, lengthen your legs, draw that tailbone down, and keep the hip area long. That's it. Now, take one more breath. Come up just a little, widen the collarbones, maybe squeeze the elbows, and then release it back down. Keep your hands where they are, tuck your toes, and let's go to downward facing dog. So here the psoas is soft. The crease of the hips is soft, the back of the leg starts to open. Maybe bend the right knee and just stretch a little deeper into the back of your left leg, and that's all the way from the sit bone to the heel. You can feel the back of the knee opening. Don't force anything. Just feel into that. There's probably stiffness there. And then switch to the other side. So everything we do is mindful. Everything we do is like an exploration of just being in in our body today. Go ahead and stretch both legs back. Yes. And then we're going to look at the hands and walk our feet back up to the top of the mat. This time, bring them together. Big toes touching. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. Good. With a flat back, we rise all the way to standing. Lift the head and chest. The arms reach. And then we pull the hands right to heart center. Good. Inhale. Arms up again. Exhale. Forward fold. All the way in. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the same exhale. A little more fluid this time. Inhaling one time through cobra. And then exhaling back to down dog. So it's not like we're rushing. We're just trying to link our movement with our breath. So take a few moments here and let the breath really move in and out of your body. Like, let the breath lengthen a little bit so we're not panting like a dog on a hot day, right? But we are actually controlling the breath, drawing it in purposefully through the nose, letting it out through the nose. Take one more and push back. And then as you exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet back up to the top. Yep. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. With a flat back, we rise, inhaling, come all the way up, reach the arms high, and then bring it to the heart center. That's it. One more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. As you breathe out, the feet go back and you lower. Take your time. No rush. Inhale, cobra pose. And then push through your hands, pull in your belly, and make your way back to down dog. So these movements can be quite graceful, purposeful. They are designed to start to touch into the bigger muscles in the body. So we start to warm up the bigger muscles, we get into the joints, and then we can refine our work and do some of the more intricate, subtle work. Take one more breath, push back just a little bit. And then as you exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway on the inhale, fold on your exhale. And then rise with that flat back. Hinge at the hips, reach the arms high. Let's touch the palms together and then pull it right into the heart. Nice. Inhale, chair pose. Turning it up a notch. Even though the pose is a little more challenging than starting with Tadasana, we do it with like a calm, cool, collected attitude. We still feel our feet on the ground. Let's draw the tailbone slightly down. Keep the crease of the hips soft. Draw the belly in. See if you can lift your chest and reach your arms a little more vigorously. Yep. And then come to standing. Maybe take a little back bend at the top. And then pull your hands into the heart. Good. Chair pose again. Inhale, sink your hips, reach your arms. Good. Now take the arms behind you. Keep the arms fierce. Let's not interlace anything. Let's spread the fingers wide. And then lift the arms higher than your body. Good. Now I like the way you're all sitting back in the heels. Now I'm going to ask you to pick up your heels. Take the pose up on your toes. It's just a great way to get your attention, right? So all of a sudden you're a little more present because it became a little more challenging because you have to balance. And the arms are behind you. Yeah, it's a little easier on the shoulders, and I want you to really focus on how all 10 of your toes, even those little pinky toes, they have a job to do here. Don't forget about them when you're doing the rest of the practice. Come back to chair, heels down, arms reach. Push through your feet, let's come all the way up. Maybe a little long stretch at the top. And then hands into your heart. Nice. Inhale, arms reach again. Exhale, let's fold. Good. Lift halfway. Inhale, let's pause. Soften your knees so your hands can touch the floor. And then please step your right leg all the way to the back of the mat. That's it. Arms are going to sweep up over the head for high crescent lunge. Again, balancing. And using all 5 toes on that right foot. I want you to bend the toes so much on the right foot that it feels like your heel is over your big toe joint. Can you imagine that? Bend the toes so much that the heel of the back foot is over the big toe mound. Good. Now bend the back knee. So many of you are trying to straighten the back knee. And I want you to bend it and come low, almost touch the ground. Keep bending the toes, keep pulling that knee forward, and then draw your tailbone down. Take your hands onto your hips and drag the skin from your quad all the way up to above the hip bone. Use that right hand, lengthen that hip there. You feel that? And so we're bending the knee, we're drawing the tailbone down, we're pulling, we're drawing attention to the front of the right hip. Now, lean back. Lift your chest up. Ooh, say hello to the front of your right hip. Yeah, did you know that that was there? Does anyone not have sensation there? Yeah, we all have sensation there? Okay, good. Take your arms back up. See if you can hold that length in the front of the hip. Take a breath. And then hands to the ground, step back, plank pose, and lower. Empty out your lungs. Whew. Inhale for cobra, filling up the lungs, and then emptying them again as you press back to down dog. Good. Just one breath in down dog. Now, that right got a really nice stretch. Let's lift the right leg up in the air behind you. Good. Start to stack the right hip on top of the left hip and bend the right knee, squeezing your heel towards your bottom. Make sure you keep weight equal in both hands, but maybe turn the gaze under the right arm. As you pull that right knee up to the sky, sink your left heel down into the mat. Right knee up to the sky. Open that hip up. Do you remember that place that had that length? Yeah, feel that right there. Good. And then look at your hands. Let's come to plank and squeeze the right knee to the elbow. Ooh, we're going to tighten up and strengthen that same place that we've been lengthening. Squeeze it tight. Look forward. Look forward. Yes, look forward, chest wide. And then step into plank. Take a breath. On your exhale, lower slowly. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is that moment when you go, why did I come to yoga today? Yeah, I know, I hear you, I feel you. I get it. Enjoy the down dog for just a couple of breaths. 2 breaths in and out. Again, breathing in, breathing out. And then please look at your hands and just walk. Do it with a little swag. Do it with some purpose. Bring your feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, and then exhale, fold. Chair pose, please. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Yep, push through the feet. Let's come up, and then pull the hands right to your heart. Good. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Just breathing and moving. Everything is simple. Lift halfway. Soften your knees so you can touch the ground. Left leg takes the big lunge back, and then you'll rise into high crescent lunge. Now all of this is just part of the warm-ups. We're starting to prepare the parts of the body that we're going to go into a little bit deeper. Remember the bend of the back toes. The heel is over the big toe mount. Come all the way up. Then bend the back knee. That knee can almost come forward because the toes are bending so much. And then we get down, almost shin parallel with the mat. Yeah, good. You can take the left hand down or both arms down, and then let's lengthen that hip flexor. Drag the skin from the quad all the way to the top of the hip bone. Just kind of feel that. Pull it up and draw the tailbone down. You can feel it. Yeah, hold there. Oh, really? And then take the arms back up over your head. Keeping the length where you were just touching, you can almost still feel the impression of your own hand. Let's lean back just a little bit. Lengthen it just a little more. Anyone feel like they sit too much? Yeah, that's what we're working on today. That's it. Take one more breath where you are, and then go ahead and place your hands down. Step back, lower. Inhale for cobra. It's a little back bend. It makes your back body strong. Good. And then downward facing dog. All right, left leg into the air. Stack the left on top of the right. Keep that area open. So we're trying not just to lift the foot in the air, but the knee. The knee goes up as high as possible. We're stacking the left one on top of the right one and looking under the left arm. Keeping both arms pressing, both handprints strong on the mat. As the left knee rises, the right heel sinks. Feel that little bit of open space in the front of the left hip, and then watch how we change it when we come to plank. Squeeze the left knee to the belly. Squeeze it to the elbow, wherever you can. Tighten up and strengthen in the crease of the hip. Keep the gaze forward, keep the chest out. Yep. Make sure you're breathing, and then just step your foot back and lower yourself down. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. I can tell how much you like that. Let's walk our hands back to our feet. Just take your time. Here, we're gonna work a little softer. Soften your knees. Tuck your chin and your tailbone and start to roll up. See if you can work from the hamstrings and the crease of the hips. Just pulling up from inside. Standing at the back of the mat, we roll the shoulders back. Good. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We're just gonna flow. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's walk it out into plank. One more plank pose, lowering down onto the belly. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog, and we'll come into our first warrior one. Right foot steps up, left foot turns flat. So we're not up on the toes anymore. The heel turns down and in. And we come into warrior one, which is facing forward, chest plate forward. Let's make sure we have a little bit of attention on the left foot, the pinky toe edge of the foot, the whole back foot grounding, and the left leg is straight. Now once again, can you take your left hand onto your hip? Can you pull up the skin from the quad, like the top of your thigh, up over that hip bone, and up into, almost into the abdominal area. Go above your hip bone. Some of you are stopping at the hip bone. Start the swipe at the quad, take it all the way up till you get almost to the belly, just above the hip bone, and hold it. Now, right where your hand is, can you move that side of your body forward? There we go. So the left foot stays grounded, the left hip and the left ribs are pulling forward. Hold that, and then take both arms up. I like what I see. Can you bend your right knee just a little more? Make sure the left leg is as straight as possible. Warrior one, this is it right here. Give yourself the fullest expression. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel that integration through your whole body. Maybe inhale, look up, lean back. And then exhale, let's flow. Move with your breath. Hands down, step back, lower. Breathe in through your back bend. Breathe out as you go to downward facing. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat. And then we build this pose here. Now I know that when we first start getting sweaty, there's this thing that happens, like we just want to stop and run away. But if you stick it out, you'll get through this threshold. The heart rate comes up a little bit, your body temperature changes, the sweat starts to actually cool you as opposed to make you feel overheated. So if you can just stick with this, even though it's sunny and a little humid, I think you're gonna actually get to this point where you're gonna feel like, yeah, I'm so glad I got that sweat on today, right? Right hand does the work of the psoas, right? From the top of the quad, pull all the way up until you get above the hip bone. You know, slide that skin up, pull where that muscle is. Keep that sensation with your hand, but bring the right side of the body forward now. Yeah, we're just learning a little anatomy. Chest plate is forward, right side of the hip is long. Can you feel it? And then both arms go up. We try to get the fullest expression while we keep that area long. We keep that back leg as straight as possible, lifting even the arch of the back foot, creating foundation. It's beautiful. Take a breath, lean back, and then exhale, take your flow. Hands down, step back, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's all take a really big inhale and then make a sound on the exhale. Just give me a little like a release. Good. And then look at your hands and just walk your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and then exhale, fold. Here we go. Chair pose, bend your knees. So all of these pieces, the warrior and the chair pose, we're going to add that to the vinyasa. Come to standing, stretch tall and long, and then pull your hands to your heart. We put it all together one time. Inhale, chair pose. Yep. Exhale, fold in. As you inhale, just look up a little. Then go to plank and lower as you exhale, all the way down. You can go as fast or as slow as you want to. Breathing in as you do your back bend. Breathing out as you push back to down dog. Let's go to warrior. Right foot steps, left foot flat. Rise up on the inhale, and as soon as you're ready to exhale, you come right back down. It's hands down, step back, and lower. Empty, empty, empty as you do it. Inhaling through cobra. Exhale, down dog into warrior left side. Feel the long stretch on the front of that right hip. You remember it, the impression is there. On the exhale, hands down, step back, lower. Yep. Beautifully done, everyone. We end in down dog and we take 5 breaths. These 5 breaths are an opportunity to be kind to yourself, to balance out the actions, to come back in the rhythm of your breath in case it got away from you. Yep. It might even be an opportunity to take a sip of water or put on sunblock, right? Yeah. We do what we need to do. We be kind always. Take one last breath here, and then look at your hands. We'll walk up to the top of the mat together. Bring the feet together. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale and fold. Finishing strong. One more time, chair pose. Bend your knees, and then push through your feet. Let's come all the way up and bring the hands to the heart. Good. Pause for a moment. Breathe for me. Breathe through your nose in both directions. Feel your feet on the ground. Pay attention. What's going on? Did we cross the threshold? It's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna sweat. Right? All right, inhale, both arms reach. Take it slow. Exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, lift and lengthen. Let's go to plank and lower, just like we've been doing. We're gonna vinyasa our way to down dog. Breathing in through the back bend, kindly. And then taking it back to down dog and into a high crescent lunge again. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. Now without all of that drama of bending the toes and all of the things, we're gonna keep the back leg straight and pull the hands to heart center. Can you feel the space on the front of your left hip? Yeah, can you feel the length? Let's keep our minds there. Keep that part of your body long, but lean into the right leg and come on up, lifting the left leg behind you. Keep lengthening the left leg out of the hip all the way back to the foot. Yep, you got this. Good, I like what I see. Now, left knee is gonna come to the belly and the hands are gonna stay at the heart. Now, without using your hands, I want you to squeeze the left knee up toward the chest. Remember what you were doing in plank and you were trying to get your leg to touch your arm? It's that same thing. Right where the body was long, you are now contracting. Yoga is not just about flexibility, it's about strength and it's about the balance of both. So push a little more into your right foot, squeeze the left knee a little higher to the belly, and then take it back into your balance. Leg goes behind you, lengthen the front of the hip. Pull back through that leg. Good, right leg is gonna bend, left toes go down onto the floor, come back to high crescent lunge. You guys are amazing. Let's take one breath and then let's flow. Hands down, step back and lower. You're moving with such grace and mindfulness. It's beautiful to watch. Exhale all the way back to downward facing dog. All right, simple sequence. Left foot steps up, stay on the right toes. High crescent lunge to the other side. Look for the length. Look for the balance of your work. Are your hips square? Are your feet grounded? Are you breathing? Draw the hands into the heart so you can sense where your center is. And just super mindful, lean into the left leg and keep lengthening the right leg back. Keep pulling from that space where you were dragging your hand. The chest pulls forward as the leg lengthens back. Amazing. If you keep your hands at heart center, you might find a better balance. And then come to stand and pull that right knee up to the chest. Pull the hands in. I'm trying to keep the center of gravity small, not the lever long, so that your balance isn't as challenging. I want you to work the psoas. Push down into your left foot. Squeeze the right knee a little higher. Because I know you can. It's super strong, that muscle. It's a huge muscle. It's really important. All right, take it back into balance. Slow and graceful. Extend long and then start to bend the left knee. Put the right toes back down. Inhale, both arms reach. Good. Exhale, take your flow. Hands down, step back, lower. Good. Cobra on the in-breath. Downward facing dog on the out-breath. Okay. Let's come into a tabletop pose. From tabletop, step your right foot forward. From tabletop, step the right foot forward. Yeah, it's like being in a lunge on your knee. Pause for a moment as they pass. It sounds like it's really urgent, right? So let's just pause for a moment. If you pray, maybe make a little prayer for the person in that ambulance or who they're rushing to or the workers that are actually driving the thing to go and do the rescue. So our hands are on the ground, our right foot is forward, our left knee is down. I want you to walk your hands to the left toward the long edge of your mat. Yep, walk them all the way to the middle of the mat, so you're facing the side, not the corner, to the long edge, all the way to the middle of the mat, so you're turning and facing the left side, and start to swing your left foot a little bit behind you. Then come on up like you're doing warrior 2 on your knee. Arms come out. This is really nice. So here, can we draw the tailbone slightly down? Can we square the hips and lift the chest and really create a beautiful long line on the front of that left hip? Can you feel that? The psoas long. So we're going to kind of try to lift the sternum and lift that whole left side of the body, under the armpit even. Like really see if you can get some length there. Beautiful. And then take both arms up over your head. Do your best to really face the left. As your body turns left and your chest lifts higher, can you push into your right heel and open your right knee a little bit more? That's it. Nicely done, everyone. Make sure you're feeling that length in the front of the hip. Take one more breath. And then gently put your hands down and start walking them toward the front left corner of the mat. That's where you wanted to go before. That's it. So we walk the hands out. You're welcome to drop to your forearms. It's not necessary, but you can. Walking a little bit on the diagonal. So you're not centered here. You're off to the left a little bit. Don't be afraid to bend the right knee and feel into the left hip flexor. Okay. And then we'll walk our hands back to center. Swing that left foot toward the back of the mat, tuck your toes, and then go into plank pose. Organize, lengthen, and then lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, let's float the tabletop for just a breath or two. So we feel a little bit of integration. We hover the knees for a second and then we put them down. Good. Left foot steps forward, right knee stays on the mat. Good. And we're going to start to walk our hands to the right all the way down the long edge of the mat toward the middle. So your body is facing to the right, and then you come on up like a warrior two on your knee. Arms stretch out. You can do that little hand adjustment with your right hand. You could pull up from the quad over the hip bone and into like that little space right above the hip bone. Or you can just do it with your body, right? Like you can actually feel the length happening. Tailbone draws slightly down, chest lifts up, body is open wide. Feel the space you're creating on the front of the right hip. And then own that and start to focus on the front leg. Drive the heel down, open the left knee a little wider. As things open, can you feel how the hips are opening here? Yeah, beautifully done. Tailbone is down, knee is open, chest is wide. It's so good. Simple. There you go. And then take both arms up overhead. See if we can get even more length. Let the rib cage lift a little bit. Lift the back ribs, not just the front ribs. Because the back ribs, actually right there at the bottom of the rib cage is where the psoas actually attaches to the lumbar spine. Right there by the diaphragm, by where the breath happens. Reach up from your back. And then when you're ready, those hands are going to come back down. We're going to walk them out on the diagonal toward the right corner. So not centered, but on the diagonal. Walk out away from your hips a little bit. Feel the stretch start to come alive. That knee is down. It feels good. Press that left knee open. Are you guys with me here? You feel this? Yeah? Happy hips, right? And slowing down for a moment and being deliberate. Yeah? So you can walk the hands out far, you can drop to your elbows, or you can just stay where you are. Just make sure you're breathing. And then we slowly, when you're ready, start to come back to the center, the front of the mat. Swing the right foot toward the back of the mat, tuck the right toes. Lift that knee so you can step back into plank. Yep, beautifully done. Organize in plank for a moment, inhale, and then lower on the exhale. Yep. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Right foot steps up, stay on the left toes. Breathe in for me. As you rise, high crescent lunge, and then please turn open to the left side for warrior two, the full expression. Warrior two. We always seem to focus on the right leg, the front leg, but I want you to feel the length that's happening on the front of the left leg today. Can you get your hips a little more square? Can you press into the left foot? Press the left leg long. Draw the tailbone down and imagine the front of that left hip long. Can you feel that? Yeah. It's a nice place to focus. It actually helps you stay upright. The psoas either bends and flexes the hips or lengthens and holds you upright. We want that muscle supple, flexible, strong, right? Most of us have it locked up like there's rocks in it, right? All right, let's make sure that the front knee, the right knee is pressing a little bit open, and then reverse your warrior. Reversing the warrior, yes. There's a beautiful stretch in the right side body, but can you keep the front of the left hip long? Try not to look down, yeah. See if you can look up, keep the body long. Even play with bending the right knee a little bit. Keeping the right knee open. Beautiful. There's relationships everywhere here that are trying to reconcile with each other. Good. Now, come back to warrior two and straighten your front leg. You can say it. I kept you there a long time. Yeah. And then we're going to go into triangle. One of my favorite poses for the psoas. The right one is flexing. The front one is long. Draw the tailbone down, the head, neck, and shoulders back. It's not how deep you take your hand, it's how open can you stay in the front of the hips. So if your hand is all the way down on your feet, but you're like bending at the hips, you want to try to open the hips up. So bring your hand up on your shin for me, even higher, yes. You feel like your hips just opened up? It's not about deep, it's about space. Draw the tailbone down, draw the spine back. Yes, that's the pose. Feel how the creases of the hips air out and lengthen here. Let's wrap the left arm behind the back. That's just a simple half bind. Keep pressing that hand into the back so you can open the left chest a little more. And then press into your feet, feel the pelvic floor lift, and put your right hand on your heart. There you go. Make sure you're breathing. This is one of those places that you hold your breath sometimes. I want you to keep breathing. And then as you open your arms back up, draw the head back. One arm goes down, the other goes up, realign, and then come up slowly. Good, bend the front knee, take a breath. And then let's flow. Both hands come down. Back to what you know. Step back lightly, lower slowly, moving and grooving, finding the rhythm of the breath, and then making our way back to down dog. You guys feeling okay? Yeah? Oh, I got a woo. Okay, are we wooing over there on that side too? Yeah, okay. Left foot steps up, stay on the right toes. High crescent lunge. Yeah, let's turn open to the right side. Put the back heel down. Warrior two. Take your time, build it deliberately. You know me, I'm not in any rush. I want you to have time to discover the subtleties. So instead of putting our attention immediately on the front leg, which is your left leg, I want to focus on the back one. Ground the foot, ground the heel, straighten the leg. Draw the tailbone slightly down. See if you can get, not to jut the hip bone forward, but to get it long, right? So the sternum lifts, under the armpit lifts, right? Instead of jutting the hip forward, we draw the hip back so we're a little more square, and we draw the tailbone down. Yeah, feel that? Okay. I like what I see. Now dig a little bit into your left heel. See if you can open the left knee. Watch what that does to the right hip. Just be in that. Build that foundation. That's what's going to be sustained while you go into this beautiful variation of reversing the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Stay connected to the footwork, the leg work, the hip work. Keep looking up so the sternum lifts and the body feels long. We want to make space today. Breathing in. Pelvic floor lifting. Front knee bends a little, opens a little, and then return to warrior two. We're going to straighten that front leg and explore the triangle. Explore it from the perspective that you're working your hips, right? Not trying to put your hand on the ground. Both legs are straight in triangle. We don't want to lock the knee, but we want to have the stability from our quadriceps. Try to straighten out the lines. Maybe the tailbone can draw a little bit down. The front of the hips can open up and lengthen. Sometimes the ribs poke out a little bit, so we want to draw the tail down. And bring the head, neck, and shoulders back. It's not the arm that's going back, it's the whole body that's coming back. You got this. Then let's try the half bind. Go ahead and wrap the right arm behind your back. See if it'll help you open up the left chest. Yep. And then maybe left hand can come to the heart. And you do that and you breathe. Because you're strong, because the muscles are not just flexible. They're supple, they're strong, they have a shape, they have a form, they have a job. Let's extend the arms, left arm down, right arm up. And in your own way, your own time, return to warrior two. Come on up, slowly bend the front knee. Beautiful. And when you are ready, again, you take your flow. Both hands go down. Step back lightly, lower slowly, find the rhythm of your breath. You can say no to the vinyasa and just meet us in down dog. Do what suits you. Okay. All right, hands are at the front of the mat. Let's walk them to the back of the mat. And as you do, widen your feet a little bit. And then bend your knees and come into malasana. So this is a really nice deep bend in the hips. Crease the hips. Yeah, go all the way in there. Right? Knees are wide open. There's a really good bend in the hips. And then let's put the elbows inside the knees, and we push out a little with the elbows, but at the same time let the knees squeeze in. You can feel, again, this feeling of strength there, yeah? Now, can you maintain that, but take your elbows out from inside the knees and lift your chest. So your elbows kind of are just in the air. The legs are still grounded, the knees are still kind of squeezing in, the pelvic floor is still lifting. There's a really nice crease in the deep crease of the hips, right? Good, now interlace your fingers and then turn your hands inside out and take them up above your head. See if you can keep the torso long. Draw the tailbone down, draw the ribs in, maybe lean back just a little. You got this. I know this is no joke. It seems like it would be so easy, but it's not. And then we take the arms back out. Bring them down to the floor. Once you touch down, you can start to straighten your legs and pivot your feet forward. Good. Nice and easy. Tuck your tailbone and your chin and let's roll up. Roll it up slow. Reintegrate your body. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to walk forward into a floating tabletop. Yep, I know no one wants to hear that when it's hot out, so we're only going to do 2 breaths. And then you're going to gracefully put your knees down. Now, as the knees drop down, walk your hands to your knees, and then come back and stand on your shins. You got this. Okay, the feet are a little bit apart, right? So the knees are like under your hip bones. Yep, and then we're going to take our hands right there on the front of the thighs and we're going to drag up. Drag up into the belly, and as you do that, draw the tailbone down. Yep, and then pull the belly and the chest up. Good, move your hands onto your hips. Nicely done. So I want you to keep that nice long body, the front of the body long, and just lean back a little bit, not bending back, right? We stay strong here. It's a 45-degree lean back. It's not a back bend. Chest stays lifted. Chin stays down. Do you feel that on the front of the thighs? Good. I want to get to those quadriceps. We've been working just above them. I want you to feel it. Do you guys feel it right there in your legs? Good. They're strong. They're probably one of the strongest muscles you got. So just like let them hold you, right? Let them stretch a little bit. Take one more breath. And then really easy, go ahead, put your hands on the ground in front of you. Yeah, let your head down, let your shoulders melt, let your belly soften for a moment. So we've been working on the psoas, we've been working on the quads now. We're going to come into camel pose. When you're ready, we come back up, stand on the shins, and if you would, if you don't have blocks, I want you to tuck your toes so your heels are a little higher behind you. The toes should be warm enough to tuck under because we did all those lunges. Good. Now, hands on your hips. Create that length in the front. Lift up from the sternum. Start to squeeze your elbows back. This is the makings of the back bend, right? The shoulder blades squeeze, the chest lifts. Right hand goes to the right heel. Reach back, find it. That's your support. And then take left bicep to the ear and take a beautiful back bend on the left side. That means the left shoulder blade is drawing back. We're doing the back bend on the left side. You got that? Yeah. Reach like you mean it for the space behind you. Even look for your hand behind you. Beautiful. And then nice and easy, come on up. Woo, hands to the heart. Rest for a moment. We're going to prepare for the other side. We create the length in the front, the beginnings of the back bend, shoulder blades back. Left hand searches for left heel behind you, and then right bicep goes to the ear. Pull the right shoulder blade back. Make sure you're breathing. Let's see if we can get that back bend to happen from this side. Yep. And then long. Reach like you mean it. Straight fingers. Pull, 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 pull. Yeah. Nicely done. And then come on up. Nice to have you here again. Hands to heart center. Let's have a seat on our heels. If your knees don't do that, swing them around. Do a simple cross legs. I'm going to do a time check. Just give your body a moment. Close your eyes if it feels safe, appropriate, comfortable. One breath at a time. Notice when you sit that psoas is not lengthening. And we spend a lot of time in this position, bent at 90 degrees. So if we do that enough and we don't stretch it enough and we don't strengthen it at all, it's just going to shorten and tighten, right? So the work we did today is really important. Sometimes that psoas is responsible for lower back pain. We don't always associate the hip and the back, but everything is connected. So as you sit here, see if you can make sure that that crease of the hip feels soft. That we become a little less forced and we feel the neutral. Good. Now, when you're ready, swing your feet around in front of you. That's it. Let's bend our knees, put our feet on the ground in front of us. And remember that lean back that we did on our knees? We're going to do it right here on our sit bones. So we lean back just a little bit. Maybe move your fingertips to the back of your knees. And then keep that chest lifted and see if you can just lean back about 45 degrees. So this is your core, right? And then when you lift your feet off the ground, here's your psoas. Let's see if we can do this with a smile. Yeah, attitude is everything, right? Now, some of you have just your feet dangling there in front of you. What if you touch your toes, your ankles, and your knees together? Like zip up the midline so we can feel even more integration. And if you're feeling like your core can hold it, keep the chest lifted, but maybe take your hands away from your legs. Reach them in front of you. So good. Shoulder blades are back, so the chest isn't caving. The chest is wide. Yep. Now, open the arms even wider, like a T. Yeah, that's a challenge. Try to do that with a smile. And then we take it even further, turn the palms up, reach the biceps to the ears. We're still holding. Yep, we're still holding. We're so strong. And then let the arms go back out wide. With some grace, bring them forward. Put your feet back on the ground. And then bow your head humbly. Rest. Soften the crease of the hips, soften the belly. Okay. Let's make sure our feet are flat and their heels are in front of the sit bones. So the feet are no longer together. They're open up about hip distance apart. And then I want you to take your right forearm in front of your knees. Just wrap your arm in front of the shins or in front of the knees. And then take your left hand behind your tailbone. So the right hand goes across both legs. Yep, both legs. And then we put the left hand by the tailbone. And I even like going up on my fingertips here so I can soften my elbow. If I soften the elbow, I have more access to my left shoulder blade moving back instead of locking up my shoulder. Yep, so you want to put your hand on the ground. Not so far. Just like that. Yep, so you can, yeah, there you go. So we want the chest wide open. Keep the hip flexor soft, right? That place we've been touching and lengthening and squeezing, just soften it now. Take one more breath, twist a little more on the exhale, and then just come around and do the other side. As we're doing these twists, these rotations of the spine, draw the tailbone down in case you need a little lengthening in the lumbar spine. Can you feel how when you root the tailbone, the lower back gets a little bit of relief? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. Sometimes I think my stuff lands well, and sometimes I have no idea, like you guys are off somewhere else. Sometimes you're with me, yeah. All right, one more inhale, twisting a little more on the exhale. And then please turn and face forward. Lay yourself down onto your back. If you want to turn around so your face isn't in the sun, sometimes one end of your mat is shady and one is sunny. So we lay ourselves down. Let's take the arms by our sides. Push the arms into the ground, bend your knees. And as you push into your feet, lift your hips up. Yep, right there. We push down to rise up. Just feel again that length in the front of the hips. Grounding the feet. All 10 toes have work to do here. Press the toes down. Some of you have them lifted in the air. Heels down. The whole foot is pushing. And the glutes are squeezing. Pick up from the strength on the back body. Head is down. Let your head down. Yep. Pick your bottom up. Put your head down. Lift your glutes up. Yeah, there you go. And then slowly come on down. Release it. So try to keep the head down. I don't want you to strain your neck. Good. We're going to do 2 more of those. Bridge pose. Push down to rise up. Head on the ground. Shoulders start to squeeze in a little tighter this time. Let's go ahead and interlace our fingers behind our back. Feel the chest open a little wider and lift those hips just a little higher. And then open the arms and come on down nice and easy. All right, last one. Last one right here. Push down, rise up. You can interlace the fingers or not. Use everything you got. Toes pressing. And then nice and easy. Pull the tailbone toward the heels as you lower your spine all the way back down for the last time. And then draw your knees into your belly. Let's open the knees a little wider. Turn it into happy baby pose. Our hips should be fairly open today. Rocking a little side to side, not taking it too seriously. Softening into the crease of the hips. Bending the legs and pulling the upper thigh down. That's it. Just give it one more breath. And then we'll start to lower our feet toward the mat. Bring the feet together. Let the knees drop open. And then let the arms come up overhead. Let everything rest for a moment. Feet together. Knees are out like butterfly wings. And we're breathing. Not trying to get anywhere, not forcing the legs open, just letting them be. Even if there's a little bit of pulling. I'm not going to stay too long. Maybe you give yourself permission, give yourself a little access. Bless you. And then draw the knees right up into the center and start to slide your legs down the mat. Bring your arms down by your sides with your palms facing up. Coming back into like an anatomically neutral place for the body. So you can really let yourself be. There's no more instructions, there's no more work to do.
There's magic here, I can feel it. Coming through the crack, I can hear it sing. Through the song of creation. Through my fingertips, painting mirrors to the deeper end. Let me shadow all that has been. And goes that will be. Just breathe. It's gonna be alright. Just breathe. It's gonna be okay. Just breathe. Find my love in light of the sun, and dance with the water, crazy as a moon. Got my arms wide open, a cycle closing. There is no going back once the truth is spoken. I'm ready for my answer. I'll deliver voices from my heart, sound down the river. Peel it back and shed the skin, listening, baby, it can be so simple. Just breathe. It's gonna be alright. Just breathe. Come on, it's gonna be
Just like the song says,
just breathe.
just breathe. One little breath at a time, we begin to awaken. Nice and easy, you start to feel that vitality, that presence. You actually can acknowledge the rest.
Just breathe.
In your own way, in your own time, you can stretch and move and breathe however you like. And then eventually, let's pull ourselves together and come together and sit.
Just breathe.
That's it. So we come to seated to close the practice. And we're going to bring our hands together at the heart. That's it. Sitting up nice and tall. Actually feeling the purpose of that hip flexor. It is what's holding you upright here, right? You can feel it. Use that. Lengthen from there. Come on up and sit. Balance in your sit bones. It's not folded too deep and it's not open really long in a stretch. It's actually in its supple place. Let's take a deep breath in together, and then we'll sound the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. Let's see if we can go louder than the bagpipes. Okay? One deep breath. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and to that freedom for all. May we all walk away from this practice knowing a little more peace. May we be good citizens of the world and always use our yoga for good. May we know our bodies as we have the privilege to live in them. And may that experience be peaceful for all of us. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I have a special treat for you today. Our friends from Balladukes, which is a new coffee shop down the street, are here. They want to come up in here to the center. Balladukes is literally on this street on the left side. They're going to offer you half-price coffees today, and they're sharing a little bit of their banana bread. So if you want to have a little taste, come on up here, and they'll come to you. Come on up here. Yep. And they'll come to you because I need them to come forward and sign the clipboard. So if they get banana and leave, I won't see them, right? So yeah. Yeah, come and have some banana bread. It looks delicious. I'm going to have one. Oh, it looks like you have some other things too. Blueberry things. Yum. Come and have a sample. Come on up and get a magnet for your car. Please sign the sign-in sheets. The spaces are going quickly for Italy, but there's still a couple of rooms. If anyone is still thinking about joining me for Italy, please come up and talk to me about it. I'm going to Tuscany. A pen. We're going to Tuscany on August 27, all the way till September 3rd. And there's pens on the other ones. So through September 3rd, which means it's Labor Day weekend. So if you want to travel right into the holiday weekend, we'll get home by Sunday. You'll have Monday off. It's actually a really nice way to retreat. We're staying in a beautiful, like restored kind of palace. It's a boutique hotel in Tuscany in a town right outside of Cortona. And that's where Under the Tuscan Sun was filmed. It's a really magical area, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it with all of you. Or some of you. Yep. All right. For my graduates, it's teacher training weekend. So you should come and sit in whenever you want to. Here's the clipboards. You sign in. Hi. Alexa, it's good to meet you too. Hi, you made it. Okay. Did you sign in? Okay, I'm going to give you a pen. There you go. It's on my website, yogajourney.com or leslieglickman.com. Let me see if I have any here. I don't have any postcards for it. Yeah, I would love for you to come. That would be so nice. Thank you. Yeah, let me give you a hug. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and just if you go on to yogajourney.com, just hit the retreats tab. It'll open up and give you all of the information. My other 2 trips are sold out. This is the only one that still has space in it for this year. And then you can just email info@yogajourney if you have any questions, and I'll get back to you about it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, please do. You can put one on your car. Yeah. What are we doing, the rolling balls? Okay. Next weekend, if anybody's interested, which day? 1 o'clock on Saturday next weekend, we're doing a roll and release workshop with Jocelyn. They're the exercise balls, and you're going to learn how to use the balls to do self-massage. It's kind of like doing sort of like yoga poses and rolling out the tension. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, you could probably roll right over that hip flexor and release it. Hi, how are you?